Welcome back to the YouTube channel of Delhi Institute for Civil Services. I am Anchal Jain, and the topic that we are discussing today is the Indus Water Treaty. About the treaty, Indus Water Treaty was signed between India and Pakistan, which was brokered by World Bank. What is the treaty about? It is about the water sharing of Indus and its tributaries. Indus has 5 tributaries, which are Satluj, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, the 6th being Indus. Because these are transboundary rivers and because India is an upper riparian country, meaning ये 6 नदियाँ जो हैं ये पहले इंडिया से पास होती हैं और उसके बाद it flows into, and all of the rivers flow into Pakistan, which makes India an upper riparian country and Pakistan a lower riparian country, right? So in this case, it becomes important that when Pakistan is dependent on Indus and its tributaries for over 60-70% of their water need or water requirement, it is of due importance that a water sharing agreement is put in place so that on humanitarian grounds they are not they are not left devoid of water, right? Under the treaty, which was brokered by World Bank in the year 1960, all the waters of the eastern rivers, which are the eastern rivers are Ravi, Satluj and Beas. We can see it in the map. Ravi, Satluj and Beas, all the 3 rivers have been allocated to India, and the western rivers, which are Jhelum, Chenab and Indus, they have been allocated to Pakistan for indiscriminate use. Alright, so Pakistan का पूरा अधिकार है western rivers पे, western rivers being Indus, Chenab and Jhelum. Satluj, Ravi and Beas, they are for the extensive and exclusive use of India. Can India do anything on the western rivers? Yes, it can. It can create run of the river hydroelectric projects. अब run of the river hydroelectric projects क्या होते हैं? Run of the river projects का मतलब ये होता है कि आप पानी की काइनेटिक एनर्जी यूज कर पानी का फ्लो यूज करके काइनेटिक एनर्जी के द्वारा आप इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस कर पाते हैं, विच मीन्स आप पानी स्टोर नहीं कर रहे हैं. यू आर नॉट making a dam or a barrage where you are storing water. This is important. So we can use the flow of the western rivers, but we do not have to necessarily store the water. So water storage is one thing that we can't do on the western rivers, right? So it serves both the purposes. Because water storage नहीं हो रहा है तो पाकिस्तान में पानी का फ्लो भी hampered नहीं हो रहा. Second, because they are passing through our region first, because the rivers are passing through our region first, we are able to capitalize on it, at least for our civilian power requirements, right? Provisions of the treaty. So now you have to solve the disputes. To solve the disputes, you have 3 mechanisms. First one is the Permanent Indus Commission. Now the Permanent Indus Commission is a 2-member body. High commissions from both India and Pakistan will be forming the Permanent Indus Commission, and this commission is supposed to meet twice in a year. As we had discussed in the foreign policy, if you have not watched my previous lecture on the evolution of foreign policy in India, you must definitely check that out. We had discussed how despite all the wars or despite all the disputes that we have had between each other, we still have not come back or revoked IWT. We still have not gone back to revocation of the IWT. This shows how successful Indus Water Treaty is. In fact, it is one of the most successful water treaties between 2 hostile countries, right? So that is one, that is a permanent Indus Commission. As of now, as of today, when I am talking to you guys, we have already met twice in this year, right? So PIC will meet twice a year. The other arbitration body or a dispute solving mechanism that we have under the IWT is neutral expert. Neutral expert will be appointed by World Bank. अब ये होगा कोई third party, ठीक है? न्यूट्रल एक्सपर्ट को कौन अपॉइंट कर रहा है? वर्ल्ड बैंक अपॉइंट कर रहा है. वी कैन चूज द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ appointing a neutral expert as well, and neutral expert will help us solve the disputes of Indus Water Treaty, right? The third mechanism is the court of arbitration. Now the court of arbitration is a 7-member body. Again, who will form or organize this court of arbitration? It will be World Bank. When we request, either of the countries, when we request कि भाई कोर्ट ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन को बिठाया जाए, ये जो 7-member बॉडी है इसको बिठाया जाए ये इशू को सॉल्व करने के लिए, है ना. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ हाइड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट्स विच आर डिस्प्यूटेड, लाइक रैटल हाइड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट, लाइक किशनगंगा हाइड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट, राइट. सो इन डिस्प्यूट्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए आप इनमें से कोई भी मैकेनिज्म चूज कर सकते हैं, राइट. नाउ शुड यू रिवोक IWT? This is one important question that all the aspirants must know or must have an answer to, right? So क्या हमें रिवोकेशन का मतलब क्या होता है कि क्या आपको IWT खत्म कर देना चाहिए, क्या आपको IWT का एग्जिस्टेंस ही खत्म कर देना चाहिए? Why is this question even arising? इतना अच्छा ट्रीटी है, right? इसको खत्म करने की क्या जरूरत है? तो एक बार सोचो, खत्म करने का क्वेश्चन आता ही इसीलिए है कि भाई हमने पाकिस्तान से बहुत बातें करने की कोशिश करी है, राइट. वी हैव ट्राइड टू नेगोशिएट विथ पीसफुल डायलॉग्स, वी हैव ट्राइड पीसफुल नेगोशिएशंस, वी कुड ट्राई, वी डिड ट्राई विथ व्हाटएवर वी कुड, राइट. बट फ्रूट्स ये है रिजल्ट कि सिंस 2019 वी virtually have a breakdown of relations, right? Except IWT, nothing else is working, right? So in the light of the dynamics that India and Pakistan now have with each other, should we revoke IWT or should some other solutions come into picture, right? So आप मुझे बताओ कि पाकिस्तान की जब 60-70% वाटर नीड्स इंडस और उसकी ट्रिब्यूटरीज से फुलफिल हो रही है, तो ट्रीटी को रिवोक कर देना क्या ये ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड्स पे सही है? नो, राइट. अगर आप किसी को पानी के लिए तरसा रहे हो तो इससे बुरा क्या हो सकता है, करेक्ट. सो दिस इज वन रीजन वाई वी शुड नॉट रिवोक IWT ऑन ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड्स. सेकेंड, इंडिया का यार एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल नेशन होने का एक इमेज है, right? India is a country which stands on values and ethics on humanitarian grounds, right? We are all for humanity, we are all for values, we are all for सेवा. तो क्या आप किसी को अगर पानी के लिए तड़पाते हो या अगर आप किसी का पानी का सप्लाई हैम्पर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो तो ये हमारे वैल्यूज से हम यहाँ वहाँ हो रहे हैं, 19-20 हमारे वैल्यूज में होती हुई दिखती है ना, right? That is why probably revocation of the treaty is not the best option, right? Also a point that there is no unilateral exit provision in the treaty. Only when both the countries want to exit from the treaty, only then you can exit. Unilateral exit का clause anyway है ही नहीं, right? What else? Conflict or water has also been prevented while we were still at loggerheads with each other. Irrespective, even if we were fighting wars, we've had n number of wars, right? After the 1960 IWT, 65 में भी इंडिया पाकिस्तान का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ है. 71, as we just discussed in the foreign policy वाला class, that liberation of Bangladesh war also, that was an Indo-Pak war or the East Pakistan war. There also we were at a war with each other. 1999 Kargil, right? And then you know 2015 से लेकर 18 तक तो we have had n number of attacks like Pathankot, Uri, etc. Right? Despite all of these disputes, IWT has still stood the test of time, which is very positive. It is probably the last link between both the countries, a last link that can actually mend the relationship between both the countries. That's how optimistic we must be, right? Okay, what else? It is an incentive for peace and trust, as Pakistan's dependence on Indus is huge. So when we let them have their water, when we do not revoke the treaty, we are kind of instilling a sense of trust, meaning the relationship that currently has trust deficit in it, we can probably fill it with a trust surplus, right? What else? IWT does not have a unilateral exit clause that I had already discussed. Also, अगर हम Indus Water Treaty, that is the Indus Water Sharing Agreement, अगर हम इससे बैक आउट कर लेते हैं तो चाइना को तो एक रीजन मिल जाएगा कि भाई चाइना के साथ हमारी ब्रह्मपुत्र वाटर शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट नहीं है, पर हम करना चाहते हैं, राइट? तो अगर हमने IWT को रिवोक कर लिया तो चाइना को एक और रीजन मिल जाएगा ये बोलने का कि भाई इंडिया एनीवे डज नॉट रिस्पेक्ट द वाटर शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट्स और एनी ट्रीटी, व्हाई शुड वी साइन वन विद इंडिया, राइट? तो हमें ऐसा चांस या ऐसा मौका चाइना को देना ही नहीं है, राइट? तो रिवोक नहीं करना विल शो इंडियाज विलिंगनेस to solve the disputes amicably or peacefully. Do I make sense? Are you understanding? So that is why not revoking the treaty is a better option. But does India have any other option? क्या हम कुछ और कर सकते हैं? तो हाँ कर सकते हैं. One, कि जो existing हमारे पास ईस्टर्न रिवर्स जो हमको एलोकेट करी गई है ना, सतलज, रावी, ब्यास, उनका ही यूटिलाइजेशन आप थोड़ा बेहतर कर लीजिए. सेकेंड, आप ट्रीटी में अमेंडमेंट्स कर सकते हैं. यू कैन चेंज द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द ट्रीटी. यू डोंट नेसेसरीली हैव टू रिवोक द ट्रीटी. यू कैन ऑलवेज अमेंड द ट्रीटी अंडर आर्टिकल 12 क्लॉज 3 ऑफ द ट्रीटी. ऑल्सो जो हमने ईस्टर्न रिवर्स पे जो हमने प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाए हैं, उन प्रोजेक्ट्स पे आप इम्प्लीमेंटेशन थोड़ा एक्सपीडिट करिए. हमें पता है हमारा एक प्रॉब्लम है या एक शॉर्टकमिंग है, दैट whatever projects we have, wonderful projects coming up, or we have wonderful projects which are in line, but the problem or a loophole is the delay in implementation. We must first stop the delay from happening. We must implement the projects in a fast-paced manner. Probably then we will be able to capitalize on the eastern rivers that have already been allocated to India. And as far as the treaty is concerned, we do have an option of amending the treaty. That is what we can do, right? So standing on our grounds, on humanitarian grounds, and the kind of image that we have in the world as a responsible state, we must stay intact on the Indus Water Treaty. That's it with Indus Water Treaty. If you have any suggestions as to what other videos you would like me to make, I would be more than happy to oblige to your wishes. You can in the comment section you can always tell me what all videos you want me to make. I did make a video on foreign policy of evolution of foreign policy in India, and this one is Indus Water Treaty. There are n number of topics on which we can have a small discussion, a brief discussion. Do let me know how did you like the class. Do let me know if you want any other topic to be discussed by me. I am Anchal Jain signing off. See you soon.